small Harbor Freight press. It's got a 12-ton jack, but I sure wouldn't rate it at that. I'm not sure what they call it, a 12-ton shop press, but it's nothing special. I sure wouldn't try to do 12 tons on it. Anyhow, you get the press plates. I've left my second shift fork on there. Make sure nothing's touching, you're not pushing against anything. I'm using an impact socket that's smaller than the diameter of the shaft, and we're going to push the main shaft out of this intermediate housing, and we're going to be careful. We've got all of our small adjustment bolts out of the shift forks, especially that third and fourth. I think, sorry about this. I was going to zoom you in here so you could get a better view. Alright, so I'm just gonna, there you go. I'm just using my fingers. If it starts binding up too much, stop. Should have taken that washer off, but man, this thing, it's probably going to pop loose and then come easy. I don't like that. Too much pressure. I got to see what's why that is. I recommend you do the same. Be careful of those surfaces on the bottom of that intermediate housing that's sitting on those press plates. That's a sealing surface, and it's very thin paper gasket there. Do not damage it, make grooves and stuff. If you're going to use you can use a puller. I've used a gear puller and put it on those edges, but put something there, a block of wood, piece of metal or something to spread the pressure out. That is soft alloy metal. Okay, I just reset it up and it just been there for a lot of years. There she goes. Make sure that brass, that shift fork is coming down with it. Make sure your gears aren't touching on the press plates or something else. There she comes. There she comes. Okay, she's through. I'll pull her out. You've got to bring the shift fork with it. Make sure that the bolt is all the way out. Oh my. Don't ask me why that happened. This is not good. I don't know why it did this, but the detents are coming out. It should come out as a nice bundle. It shouldn't come out in pieces like this. This is a steel shift fork for third and fourth. First and second uses a brass one. If you hammer on these brass ones, they will break. I've found them in the bottom of the transmission bound up where they won't shift. So you look that thing over real good for cracks. In a racing situation, you want to put in the steel shift forks for the early model. On what we're doing for a standard setup, I'm probably going to put it back in. It'll be just fine. And I do not know why this came apart the way it did, but we are going to start laying out our stuff. We're going to put all this back here with our second shaft, and we're going to start laying our stuff down here for the other shaft, just like we took them apart. That should not be that tight the way I remember it. Something's going on here. There may have been a problem inside this transmission because the little wire clip that holds the detents in, I thought I heard something fall on the floor. This detent is missing. That's probably what it was. Here it is. Here's one. And these are not hollow. First and second had the holes in them. Okay, this is going back in. That's right. But this, oh, there it comes. I don't remember these thrust washers being this tight. Oh boy. Never had this happen before. That's why we're checking it. Gently. That should not be this tight. Something must have got hot, got galled, or something. It's a mystery. That's why we're taking it apart. Man. This is a mess. There. Never had that happen before. Just a special treat for you guys. So keeping it honest and keeping the struggle. Okay, there's two detents. Should be one more. I thought I heard something. I'm going to turn you on, see if I can struggle with that a little bit. No sense burning up time. I did find that grease, that detent, fell on the floor, and unlike the first and second, these are solid. And I think I set one aside so that we could compare them in size to the ones that came on at first and second, and it appears they're identical in length, width. Okay, on this late model they appear to be the same in third and fourth as first and second. Now, I could have swore I heard Darren saying something about they were different, so it might be different models, different years, and they did switch things like we've been talking about. So never had a problem with them. I never was too concerned with them. Tried to keep them all together when I took it apart. And alright, let's see. Let's start. We're just going to take this stack apart. Now this thrust washer that was on top, boy, that thing was a booger to get off, and it doesn't look damaged. I don't know if there was some hard stuff right up here on the top. I see a little discoloring here on the shaft. Let's just start taking it apart. This slider hub and all this stuff is not right. Something's definitely not right here in River City. So there's your bearings and stuff for third and fourth. or first, second, third, fourth, yeah. I think this baby's gonna be, I'm gonna have to pull this off. As I recall. Alright, there's the spring. So we didn't lose that. Put the slider hub there, put this spring on top. And we're going to have to reach underneath here on, put it back in the press. We're going to have to press this part off. We don't have a broken gear. Oh, it's all about that damn detent and the spring. Crap. We have to reset that detent. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Hold the show. There's no sense taking this thing apart any farther than I have to. I'm so used to building race trannies for my sandrail, I always replace that gear. We're not doing that this time. And we could save ourselves a step there as far as pressing that thing off. I don't know why that came apart that way, but here's what I'm talking about. On these, when you're replacing these synchros, these brass synchro rings, according to the Blue Book, and I found this to be true, if you use a used one that is in spec and good condition, you will be able to shift quicker and it'll engage more solid on a street tranny than if you use a new one. If you use a new one, it's going to be a little hard. You're going to have to break it in and it's going to take a while. You're better off getting a good used one. Nothing matter with a standard one. It just means it's going to last longer and so on and so forth. But what I'm going to do is here's one that was 32. We're just going to start here. I'm going to push down on this brass gear here. Look at that, 32. And what was the limit? 23. So that's great. Great news. Here's a 30 and a 28. That makes 58. Side by side. We'll push down on that brass ring. Now they were showing it on the table, but there's no sense taking it down that far if we don't have to. I'm gonna grab another one, something in here. Where is it? Here we go. We want to push it down. So, okay, that's less than that. Let's see what. Let's see if we can get a 30. Let's try it for you. 30 and a 10. Let's see. Here's a. What was that? 30, 40. A 25 and a 26 would be 51. I do have a brain. I do have a brain. A little tight. Got some wear there. And this is on the third gear side. How do the teeth look? I look at the corners of the teeth. They look sharp. They look good. Let's take the next two down. 23 and a 21 is what? 44. Oop. Don't want to make it harder than it is. 23 and a 22 is 45. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. That feels like about it. Yeah. Okay, 45. So we got plenty of synchro left to work with. We've got our hook sticking through one of this holes so we can get the detent captured. on that. That shouldn't be an issue. And that's why we were going to take it apart, to have a look at all of that. Now we don't have to. We can leave this bearing seated the way it is. We're going to take fourth gear down here on the table. Sorry about the noise. Okay, we're going to flip it over. It's got that inner bearing surface. We're going to take a quick look at it. And it looks nice. Very nice. No galling. Very shiny. Here's our synchro ring. Right there. We're going to push down just like the book showed. And we're going to measure it right. Oh, there's even more space in there. Third gear's got a little more wear on it for some reason. And you might say to yourself, well, why is that? Well, I don't have a clue. Here's the 62. You do hear it frequently, people, you know, I've always heard it, but I've never owned one of those cars that jumped out of fourth all the time. Have you? 53. Alright, 53. Nice. We got, let's just do it all the way around. Make sure. As long as we got the damn thing down this far, let's not get sloppy at the last minute, right? Okay. That's your synchro. If it's grinding, or you've got problems of getting it into gear, and again, you're going to look at all the points and all the corners here. Let's get in close. That's important stuff here. You guys want all that good stuff. Focus. Okay. I'm going to lift that off. This is your fourth gear hub. These are oil slots that they put in here. This is replaceable. This can press off of here. On a high performance application, you would want it welded. Let's go to the box. Let's grab one. Alright, got you set back up. Now, we've got our spring. Oh, I see it's got a divot on both sides. Interesting. So we're going to stretch this out a little bit. That's going to be just in case we have a staying in gear issue. And obviously, because I'm not taking it down further, I won't be able to do that for third gear. But it looks real nice, and the wear looks nice, and the tips look good. Now, what I'm going to do, there's the 3 slots here. The detents fell out when I had it in the press, and they say don't put it in the same spot. So I see the end with the curve. Something tells me I'm going to regret doing it this way. Alright, now on that side I'm going to put it in. I wonder, oh crap, I just remembered another little tidbit. There's a mark on this. I wasn't paying attention when I took this off. This is critical. This is critical. There's a little dot on this slider hub. It is critical which way that goes. And I see a lot of crud inside here now that I got it in the light. Alright, it says in the book, use a wire brush and clean that gunk out. That can make a big effect on things. Yeah, this needs to be cleaned up, and I need to read in the book. since I wasn't paying attention, there's a little dot. That thing's got to sit a certain way. I built my transmission up one time, and as soon as I got it unloaded, I took off down the road to see how those gears would feel like. I think it was when I first put that lower third and fourth in, and it jumped out of fourth gear. Could not use fourth gear the whole weekend, and for some reason third worked, but it would pop out of fourth. And I took it apart, and that's the only thing I did was flip this thing over and put it back together, and it worked perfect after that. So it is something got to pay attention to, and I got to look for it in the book because I know he makes a comment in there. Something else to look for. We tell it like it is here at the TheEZGZ Garage. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. TheEZGZ out.